Welcome, everyone. I would like to welcome you at our webinar, Outstaffing or In-House, Deciding the Ideal Path for Salesforce Partners. My name is Alexandra. I'll be your host for today. We are scheduled for about half an hour, and we'll have some time for your questions at the end. And now, without any further ado, let me introduce our amazing speakers, Katya Humanna and Victoria Horoshko. Katya, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everybody. My name is Katya Humanna. I'm a sales manager at Redtag. I want to thank you all for joining us for this webinar today. Here with me is my colleague, Victoria Horoshko, our Salesforce consultant. And today we will be comparing two staffing approaches, outstaffing and in-house hiring. And we will be discussing how to choose the ideal path for your business. Let me quickly move to the agenda. So I'll quickly walk you through our today's agenda. Firstly, we will discuss the main pain points of Salesforce partners when working with outstaffing providers. Then we will dive deeper into pros and cons of outstaffing and hiring in-house. And we will walk through some real-life cases of our clients with Victoria next. Before we move on, I want to thank you all for joining us today for this webinar and for your eagerness to learn and your curiosity. Please reserve any questions that you have till the end of the presentation. We will have some time for the Q&A session, or just feel free to drop your questions in the chat here. So here on this slide, you can see our founder and the CEO, Nazar Makitin, and his quote. So basically, this is a motto of our company, and it resonates a lot with our core values. Okay, so now it's time to give you a very short introduction of who we are and why our experience on the topic of in-house and outstaffing is relevant and can be trusted. So here at Redtag, we provide staff augmentation services to other Salesforce partners since 2013, so basically for 11 years already. We've done more than 500 projects with other Salesforce partners, and now we have more than 100 certified specialists on board with us. We are also really proud of our customer satisfaction rate, which is, as you can see, 4.9. And to achieve that, we actually had to do our homework, and we worked really hard to understand the needs of our clients and what challenges they face when they cooperate with outstaffing partners. So today, I'm gonna elaborate on it a bit more. And we are going to start with the most common pain points that we've learned from our clients from our over 1 decade experience. So the first one, as you can see, is communication barriers. And I'd probably divide them into two types, cultural and functional. So if we speak about cultural barriers, we mean language differences, time zone variations, cultural misunderstandings that can lead to miscommunication, so delays. This one is mostly not a problem here at Redtag, since our roots are Ukrainian. We were founded by Ukrainian in Ukraine. And as you know, Ukraine is part of European countries. So the corporate culture and communication styles here are very similar to our US colleagues. So basically, we haven't had any challenges here. And then moving to the functional ones, sometimes there are difficulties in establishing very clear, consistent communication channels between outstaffing provider and Salesforce partner. This might happen with probably less experienced providers or those who struggle with internal management themselves. So when you are choosing a provider, I'd recommend to pay attention if the company representative is asking you questions about your preferable form of communication, maybe the frequency of communication that you need, or your general expectations from communications, because that will indicate that the company pays attention to efficiency of communication and they recognize the value of efficient communication between the partners. And so if you're not asked these questions, probably you should consider that a red flag, or at least be very cautious about that. Then we are moving on to the next point, which is quality control. So here we have 2 points. Sometimes it might be difficult to ensure that outstaff developers and consultants maintain high quality work and adhere to the best practices. And also sometimes there are challenges in monitoring the quality of deliverables, especially when working remotely. So how we've solved this problem? Here at Redtag, we've got a top-notch QA department that makes sure that we find the best qualified specialist for every particular project. And we always invest in growing and training our team. We have internal academy here. Let me know if you'd like to learn a bit more about that. We'll just, find 15 minutes in my calendar, grab some coffee and chat about that. But basically we putting our focus on continuous learning of our employees. And when you're choosing the provider, the outstaffing provider, it's really important to ask what strategies are there in place at the company you are considering to ensure the quality. If there are none, or the representative of the company is very hesitant about the reply, probably you also should be concerned. Okay, now moving on to the integration challenges. By integration challenges here, we mean integrating outstaff teams into existing workflows and project management processes. Also, it might be difficult managing different working styles and methodologies between in-house and outstaff teams. So over the years, at Redtag, we've owned our experience working with diverse range of projects and learned how to seamlessly integrate into clients' work structures and methodologies that clients use. So here I'd recommend focusing on choosing more experienced partner for your business and ask them about their employees' retention rate. I will explain why that's important, because employees that are experienced in working in outstaffing companies are normally really good at adapting and onboarding quickly. So if the retention rate is really good at the company, probably you can expect that the employees can adapt really quickly to your work model. Okay, moving on to project management and coordination. So here, I think we need to speak about challenges with coordinating tasks and responsibilities across in-house and outstaff teams, because sometimes it can be really complex. And also there's always potential for misaligned expectations and goals leading to project delays. So we personally solve this problem by ensuring what each specialist is paired with a dedicated team leader inside our team. So basically this team leader can provide seamless coordination to the employee and also prompt updates and complete transparency for our clients. That's how it works for us. And then the next point is security and data privacy. So it's really important to ensure that outstaff team that you work with adhere to the same security and data privacy standards as your team. And this one can be solved really easily just upon signing an NDA. So just make sure that upon signing an NDA with your partner, the specialists are fully committed to the project that you brought to the company, and they adhere to the confidentiality standards mentioned in the NDA. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Oh, excuse me for a second. Okay, so here at this slide, the first point is cultural differences, which I already covered previously. If you need a bit more information on that, again, just drop me a message after the webinar. We'll find 15 minutes and chat a bit more about how we solve that at Redtag. Okay, and the next point is really interesting, is dependency and control. So there's always a risk of becoming overly dependent on your outstaffing team. And sometimes it can impact projects if the relationships end. So here at Redtag, we believe in fostering a collaborative environment where all decisions are made with our clients who are our partners, and our role is the extension of your team, not replacement of your team. Also with the new partners, we often start with smaller project. So basically you can see the quality of the work done, you can see how we cooperate, and then slowly increase the workload. So yeah, if that's your first try with Outstaffing, I wouldn't recommend, jumping into a bigger project without checking everything carefully. And then the next point here we have cost management. It's basically about how to balance cost effectiveness with the quality of work provided by our staffing team, and also managing unexpected costs due to scope changes or additional services needed. So here I'd say the point is clarity and being very open with your outstaffing providing partner. Just because if you are very open about your budget restrictions, your partner may adapt and recommend a matching specialist, for instance, for you with the matching skills, but also matching your budget. And also they can recommend a more effective solution in terms of price. So here I say it's just important that you and your partner are very open about the budgets. Okay, just give me a sec. The next point that we have here is resource availability. Sometimes partners struggle to ensure that our staffing team has the needed resources for them. And also there is always the potential for delays in our staff teams because of its lack of needed resources. So this might happen. And here I think openness and clarity are the key as well. So when you're partnering with our staffing provider, just communicate with them how long will it take them to provide you with the needed employee if you are at the stage of winning the project, for instance, and you're not sure when you're going to start, but you know that if you win the project, you need to start soon. And then if you are signing the agreement with them, just clarify how soon you can expect the employee to start, and if you can expect the employee to be reserved for your project, just to be on the safe side. And then the last one is contractual and legal issues. So sometimes it's really difficult navigating complex contracts and legal agreements with outstaffing providers, and also resolving any disputes or misunderstanding. So for us, it's not a problem since we've been on the market for more than a decade. And this experience has enabled us to develop clear and very comprehensive contracts tailored specifically for the US clients. But if you are starting with a less experienced company, I'd probably invest into legal team just to make sure you don't have any surprises in progress or upon the finishing of the project, just to make sure you're on the safe side. Okay, moving on, we will compare basically two approaches: hiring in-house, its benefits and disadvantages, and hiring outstaffing partner. So we will start with the in-house specialist. As you can see, among the benefits, we have direct control and supervision, consistent communication, loyalty, and commitment. I'd say that after the COVID and everyone started working remotely, these advantages are not that prominent and not specific for the in-house employees, because as long as the communication and supervision happens online, there is no difference between in-house or outstaffing. And then we have availability and responsiveness, and confidentiality and security. So previously I mentioned how we solve that within our team. Then moving on to the disadvantages, we have higher cost, limited expertise, recruitment and retention challenges, and lack of flexibility. So I'd like to highlight the higher cost point here, because most people know that outstaffing providers, they have slightly lower rates than hiring directly in US. But also we need to remember that the US employer must provide the employee with the vacations, leave, workplace insurance, and you don't need to spend money on all that if you are cooperating with a staffing partner. And then with the lack of flexibility, basically what we mean here is sometimes when you experience decrease in projects, you basically have people on bench and their hours are unbillable, but you are paying to that people. So basically with the outstaffing provider, you don't have the situations, because if you experience a decrease in projects, your team just quickly stops working for you. And then again, with the increase in projects, sometimes you just can't win the project because you don't have enough people to start on time. So that's easily solved if you have basically a partner who provides you with a talent pool. And now we are moving to outstaffing specialists, advantages and disadvantages. So among the advantages is cost effectiveness, which I explained, lower hourly rates, no need to pay for vacations, leaves, or workplace insurance, and no need to pay for the maintenance while the employee is on bench. And also, excuse me, and also you have access to specialized skills. So basically, if you're specializing in, let's say, nonprofit projects, and you really want to start working with manufacturing, you basically can use the expertise and skills of your partner. Then reduced recruitment efforts. I read this report that said that on average in 2023, it took 4 months to hire a senior Salesforce consultant. So basically here, you don't need to waste that time on searching for the right person, because the next point, you have access to global talent pool. And then moving on to disadvantages, we have communication and coordination challenges, quality control and oversight, data security and confidentiality risk, and dependency on the outstaff provider. So we basically covered all that when I shared our experience on how we avoid the pain points of Salesforce partners. But again, we'll be happy to elaborate on that on a call, or if you're in Krakow, happy to grab some coffee and chat about that. Okay, and from now on, my colleague Victoria will take over. She will share a hands-on experience with our clients. Victoria, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Katya. So, I am a Salesforce consultant at Redtag, and I will tell you some cases, some real hands-on experience. And the first one is Revenue Grid. So Revenue Grid is known for its robust Salesforce App Exchange packages, but integrating new features into Salesforce can be really complex. So their goal was to enhance product usability to boost user satisfaction. Our goal, main task, it was really clear. So we needed to understand the new functionalities Revenue Grid wanted to integrate and make sure that these enhancements worked seamlessly within Salesforce. So we have multiple phases. Of course, it began with planning. We dived deep into new features, understanding every nuance to ensure a smooth workflow. Then came the technical tools, refining code, ensuring it's not only fitted the Salesforce architecture, but also compiled with the latest standards. The next phase was testing. And after that, we guaranteed that these new integrations would run smoothly, making the user experience as efficient as possible. So, but there is more to it than just technical integration, and documentation was the key. We crafted detailed guides to help users, and we want to make sure that everyone could easily make the most of the new enhancements. So we also revised existing App Exchange packages to meet Salesforce the latest guidelines, focusing on security, efficiency, and our support didn't end at the deployment. So we organized training session, ensuring a smooth transition to the enhanced system. And the result was successful integration of new functionalities into Salesforce. And now users have access to tools and capabilities that streamline the process, that make the business workflow faster and more productive. And this achievement signifies a huge improvement in the user experience and operational efficiency within the Salesforce environment. So that is our first case. And the second is Westlake. So Westlake is a US-based company, and they provide the building blocks for vital solutions, from packaging and healthcare products to automotive, consumer goods, building products. They employ approximately 16,000 people, and they operate in North America, Europe, and Asia. So they approach us with a request to develop a B2B store that would streamline their complex sales process and make it easier for customers to access essential products. Their goal was to introduce automation and tailor products offering and pricing, especially to each customer's needs. So our approach was to leverage communities and Commerce Cloud to create a quality B2B store. And this wasn't just about products, about selling products. It was about transforming how Westlake connect with its customers. So to meet these requirements, Redtag devised a custom LWC interface, integrating both standard and custom components, creating a seamless user experience. And additionally, we crafted custom components for intuitive interface, encompassing product details, cart functionality, checkout process, and easy, comprehensive order management. Our use of Salesforce Lightning for sales rep interface and community, combined with Commerce Cloud for the store, ensured a smooth workflow. And it took for us 18 months to bring this project to life. As a result, Westlake completely changed the way they interact with their customers, and the new B2B store not just simplifies the sales process, it also offers a personalized shopping experience. Customers now enjoy the way to access the products, what they need, and when they need them. So that's how, through innovative thinking and customer-focused approach, we help Westlake enhance their business operations. So yeah, I believe that's all from my side. You're on mute.
Thanks. Thanks a lot for sharing your experience. It was really interesting. And so guys, as the next steps, if you're interested to learn more about Redtag or just have a problem and you think we might solve that, here are the next steps. Basically, let me know and we'll schedule an introduction call, and we'll move from there. And now I'm going to stop the recording and we can continue our webinar in more conversational manner. So you can ask any questions that you have.